Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and today I have a real fruit park for you. During the last years, this has become maybe my favorite fruit park in Heidelberg. It's in the suburb of Neuenheim, right opposite of the Salem hospital, on the Zeppelin Street. And yeah, I just found out that this little garden is called the Gustav Radbruch Platz or the Gustav Radbruch Square. Never knew this, but it's not so important what it's called, but what you can find here. And you can really find a lot. This used to be just a normal tiny city park until a couple years ago. The city gardeners started planting mostly spices, herbs and spices, but in the last few years they started planting a lot of fruit and even some vegetables. It's still mostly a spice and flower park, but there is also a great variety of fruit trees and shrubs. So let's see what we can find here. Yeah, the blackcurrant season is basically over. Can still find some, but this year June was pretty hot, so a lot of the fruit which should be in season now are actually out of season. Here we have blackcurrant, corn and beans amongst fruit and spices, a lot of mint. This is a Josta berry, a blackcurrant gooseberry hybrid. Here we have the red currant. Somebody picked almost all the fruit from this one, but here are a few left. And around it some Artemisia, which I used as spices. This should be Artemisia dracunculus. This one I don't even know the name. One of the older trees in the park, the yew tree. Very toxic tree, however. You can actually eat the red arils, which I cannot see on those branches. Funny. Well, here is a yew tree without fruit. I hope in a couple of months to make a video about how to eat the yew fruit. Don't try it before that, because you can really get in trouble for that. Here's some cherry tree, but it's some ornamental cherry. Here again some currant. Here a collection of raspberries and blackberries. I'm really curious when they get ripe. They planted them just a couple months ago, so I've never seen the fruit of those varieties or species. Well, here is a gooseberry. Well past its prime, still with very few edible fruit. And here is the Josta berry, this gooseberry blackcurrant hybrid. Tasty. Overripe, but still very sour and tasty. Here we have a Fehoa acazeloviana. More or less subtropical relative of the guavas. Yeah, this is pushing the zone a little bit. They kind of grow in Heidelberg. People started planting them a couple years ago. I've even seen flowers, but I have yet to see fruit. I hope cultivating them works out here. They are very aromatic fruit. I guess this is the usual peach almond. Would be nice if it was a real almond. Actually, it's not impossible that it's a real almond. The fruit are a little bit more elongated than the average peach almond, so we can hope for some almond. The difference between almond and peach almond is the shell of the peach almond is extremely hard. This year they planted an extensive strawberry collection, but most of them failed to fruit. Maybe they are still too young. Flowers and spices, lots of flowers and spices. Here we have some sweet potatoes, and behind them some peppers and tomatoes and colorful cabbage. Here some fava beans. They don't seem to be doing that well. Maybe they did not get enough water. Well, the bean harvest this year will not be so good in this garden. A nice collection of blueberries. I already made a video about them. Here behind me is an ornamental part, but you can still find a lot of interesting stuff. Here is some millets. This grass here is actually a cereal. The muggy plant, the whole park smells of it. It smells kind of like curry. Well, here we have Lantana camara. Few people know that the fruit are actually edible, but I don't think it even produces a lot of fruit in Germany. Here's some peppers which also don't produce much fruit. A lot of sweet potatoes. Here we have a sweet potato flower. They mostly use them as ornamentals in Germany. However, those ornamentals produce really big and tasty sweet potatoes. Oh, I kind of doubt that the gardeners planted this. I just saw it. Well, folks, here we have some marijuana, one single plant. This was either planted by some guy with a lot of humor, or maybe it was just maybe it was just an accident coming from some bird seed or something like that. I doubt that the gardeners planted it on purpose. But this is Cannabis sativa, the plant from which hemp and also marijuana and all those related drugs come from. Also, you can use the seeds as some sort of very protein-rich cereal substitute. That's funny, I just saw this during filming. Here we have some grapevines. However, I don't see a label here, so I don't even know the variety. Here's some more strawberries and those elevated structures. I guess you have to water them a lot when you plant them like this. Here some more peppers, tomatoes and sweet potatoes. Also some chili peppers this time. Here we have a kaki, a small kaki tree. They planted it about 2 years ago. It didn't go well, so they had to cut it off. So now I guess what is resprouting is maybe the rootstock and not even the graft. So I don't even know what variety will come out of this. Let's see. Here some more gooseberries. This time they are grown like a tiny tree. Tons and tons of spices. I could make 50 videos about herbs and spices in this park. Some more grapes. Oh, those seem to be doing quite well. What a pity I cannot see a label here. So many different grapes being grown in Germany and no labels. Here a little bit hidden is an Indian banana or poor man's banana, Alcimina triloma. It's in the Annonaceae, actually the only Annonaceae species with big edible fruit that you can grow comfortably in Germany. Here in Heidelberg they produce a very good harvest, but with this one we'll have to wait a couple more years. I mean, the fruit are basically the size of the leaves and weigh up to a pound. I don't think this tree can take that. Here are some blue beans. Let's see, yeah, they already have small fruit. This type of cabbage is quite popular in northern Germany. Here again some Artemisia, another yew tree. Oh, this time, oh, it already has half-ripe fruit. That's early. This year a lot of stuff is coming early. I hope you can see the fruit well. This is Murphy's Law. the yew which had low branches, had no fruit, and here I see ripe fruit out of season and they are too high even for me. Here's some Oregon grape, which is being used as an ornamental in Germany. They don't usually use the fruit. A zucchini collection. Oh, with those nice big flowers the Mediterranean peoples like to fry. Here again some sort of exotic blue blackberry variety collection. And here this should be the Jerusalem artichoke. It's definitely some species of sunflower, but I don't think it's the species where you use the seeds. I think this is the species where you use the tubers, and which is called Jerusalem artichoke. Okay folks, this was maybe my favorite little fruit park in Heidelberg. If you want to visit any of those public fruit parks in Heidelberg, you are normally allowed to try one or two fruit like I used to do, but please don't simply harvest the whole park. Don't break plants. Don't walk into the garden, crushing the plants or trampling the soft soil. Be very respectful towards the park and the plants. Thumbs up to the great gardeners of Heidelberg who created this wonderful park. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the parks and gardens of Heidelberg. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.